Why, hello.
Hey there. So, pop quiz. Was Judah one of the sons of Jacob?
Yes,
Okay, cool. I was scouring last night
I'm pretty
trying
sure.
to find
Yeah.
it because I'd gotten
Uh,
to the point
yeah.
that we were talking about Judah in the book of Genesis and how, he's getting his wives and the like, and it's like in between the story of Joseph. And I'm like, wait, hold on. We just got from Joseph, and now you're talking about Judah, and I'm like going back trying to look through the genealogies of his children, and I'm like, I can't find it. But I didn't like do a Google search. I
Okay.
figured you could be my Google.
I'm pretty. Yeah. Of the tribes of Israel, each son has a tribe except for Joseph. His sons have like two, basically split into two tribes. So otherwise, every tribe is a son of Jacob.
Right.
Did I say Joseph?
No.
Okay, I did
No,
say
you
son
said
of
Jacob.
Jacob. Okay.
And Jacob, so Judah and his tribe is where the lineage branch that Jesus comes out of. Is that right? Because Judah is
Yes,
the
I
lineage
believe
for
so.
David, and then from the shoot of Jesse, or the stump of Jesse comes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. Sounds
Okay.
good on a Sunday after a long several weeks.
Well, it reminded me because we heard it in the gospel. They were talking about the tribe of Judah, I think. I'd have to go back and look. But
Yes.
I thought that's what I heard today for the Epiphany.
Yeah. And I was having a chat with another parent after Mass, and he has a good sense of humor, and so he brought up the fact that we have in the Bible a commemoration of a child listening to their parent, and so we should celebrate that as a feast where children have to give gifts to their parents.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I know you know. Do you know when that might be, the commemoration of a child listening to their parents?
Would that be the finding in the temple after he not was listening to his parents?
Nope.
I don't know.
The wedding feast at Cana.
Oh, okay.
And funnily enough,
So,
in the old calendar,
uh-huh.
the Sunday following the Epiphany is the wedding feast at Cana. It's
Really?
commemorated. So yeah, it'd be next Sunday we could have the kids make breakfast for us.
That sounds good.
Yeah, he and I were very much on board with this idea, and all of the others that were not parents, they said, but you guys have Mother's Day and Father's Day. And I'm like, not the same.
I mean,
I think we could have a church feast commemorating children listening to their parents.
yeah, we could use more understanding and guidance for them to see role models of obeying parents. Not that our kids don't obey. They do. They're good kids. But it's always helpful.
It is.
Yeah. Well, I'm Dale.
I'm Kit.
And welcome to Catholic Hitch. We are a Catholic family seeking heaven and hoping to pick up others along the way.
Small talk. So it's been a whirlwind and a little bit different of a 12 days in Epiphany than we normally have.
Yeah, that really hit me today because normally we are in the mountains and at one of the local parishes up there, and I'm not up helping serve. And it was kind of a nice gift to be able to hear our parish, to see our parish, and there were a lot of people.
There were.
They were at Mass, and the Mass before ours and our Mass. It was much larger than the normal ordinal time period.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll stick. Maybe it's like New Year's resolutions were coming in, or like, okay, we're gonna go back to Mass, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. But it was so wonderful and peaceful to hear the music and
the music was nice. The homily was nice. It was wonderful to have our pastor be the one giving Mass.
Yeah.
Today at 12:30.
Yeah. Deacon did a great homily. He shared a little bit of his witness. I teared up a little bit back there.
Nice.
I made sure I didn't take the glasses up and wipe the tears. I just kind of let them roll down. Nobody can see me that far away.
No one can see.
So, but it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But you've been, what's the best way to put it?
I know I can't go into details about what's happening.
No, but you have been giving up to the Lord your sufferings through the last 10 days, I think, hasn't it been?
Yeah, probably getting close to 12 at this point.
Meaning that you haven't been able to enjoy all of the candies and the goodies that we normally would have at this time of year, just because you're struggling with that.
Yeah, so I have a something happening in my body that we are on the figure out what's happening plan with the doctors.
Yes.
So I'm going down the rabbit hole, and I'm hoping I don't have to go too far. I'm basically on, I think, essentially the acceptance that like we have to investigate something. So I'm on step 1 of that.
Step 2, because you went the first time. They're like, oh, we think it's
I know
this.
that. Yeah, I
and
guess.
Step 2, you went back, and now we're at, okay, let's start testing for things.
Yeah.
Yay.
So
great.
The first test is on its way, and then depending upon the results, then I get to do another test.
We'll
and
see.
Depending on the results, I get to do another test.
Yeah.
So, but it's been rough because for a while it's been difficult to sleep at all. And then, we have talked about the 12 days that we do in the past on past podcasts. So check out, I think 2 years ago, we talked about our 12 days tradition in our family.
Yeah.
And, we like to do a lot of stuff as a family, like lots of little outings, not necessarily like expensive stuff, but just really intentional stuff. And because I haven't been feeling well, it's been hard because we've had to like pull some rain checks, which has never happened before.
It worked out really well this year. I was able to take time off before Christmas and after Christmas, which normally I don't, just because there's so many things going on this time of year. The phones have been ringing and people have been calling saying, hey, I've got this idea. I want to talk to you about it. Sure. Great. Except this year's first year, it's been, I've been the one that's been fielding a little bit more of those.
Yeah.
So that's different and new, but while home, it's been great. What's today's 12 day of Christmas thing? Oh, Daddy, you're going to be doing it with us. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
There's a couple that I basically asked if we could do when I'm feeling better.
Yes. We've got one. We have a rain check on.
2 technically.
2?
Yeah.
So
the train.
Oh, that's right. Going downtown with the train. With that one's been a weather thing because we've actually, had winter here.
Yeah, well, you would have probably taken the kids on your own if it hadn't been like a lot of snow that particular day.
Yeah, I would have done it.
But the kids and I'll
begrudgingly, but I would have done it. We'll
find one of the days off, in the near future, and we'll go downtown on the train and see you.
Yeah.
And they actually, 3 of our children received a Starbucks gift card for their volunteer work at the church.
Ooh.
So they're going to keep their Starbucks cards, and we'll go get Starbucks downtown and then go see you.
I already used mine.
Yeah. But it's been different. Yeah. I wanted to go to the pool. Like we go to not our jurisdiction's pool, but the neighbor jurisdiction's pool. 'Cause they have like, I don't know, very nice pool. There's like a warm pool. And
well, it's newer.
Though, no, it isn't.
Actually,
newer.
no, it's not newer, but it is fancier than ours.
It's much fancier than ours.
Yeah.
The only time I've been in our local rec center pool, my hands started going white from it being cold, which, like, it's because I have a weird condition in the family where you lose circulation.
Circulatory issue.
Yeah. But I'm like, this is just seriously unpleasant. And my kids kept getting yelled at while I was in the pool on that occasion for not really good reasons. So that definitely turned me off of our local rec center pool for me to partake in.
Gotcha.
I mean, I've taken the kids there and they're fine. But for me to get in the water, I'd like it to be nice and warm and like a very nice experience.
Yeah, you got to go to the outer ring suburbs if you want that. Our little city here doesn't have the money yet.
Our humble city.
I mean, for the bang for the buck that they got on that rec center, they did a great job. I mean, it's huge. It's got so many things.
It's packed to the gills with programming.
Yeah. I mean, compared to, like, you look at some of our neighboring cities and you look at what they did in our city and you think, you guys really just like didn't spend any money comparatively, because it should be like triple the size of the one we have and triple the amenity, and it's not. It's just a little bit nicer than what we have. So
I mean, as far as our rec center, the rec center is great, and it's really just our pool is too cold, and they value engineered out a hot tub.
They did.
That is a big fail in a public rec center that's like a newer rec center.
Yeah, because you go to our neighboring cities and their rec centers, probably they stay at like 90, 95 degrees for the water. It's nice and warm, and then you can go over into the 100+ degree water for the hot tub and roast yourself out.
Yep.
And then go back in.
Which I can't do right now,
No.
but the pool that we're gonna go to has like a middle ground pool, like it's the elderly pool, and I have a big pregnant belly, so I'm going in that pool, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it at all.
Nope.
Last year I used Jonathan as my way into that pool. I was like, he's little.
I've been in that pool.
Come on, Johnny, let's go.
I think it's fine.
I think it's probably fine.
Yeah.
There's like some signage about basically giving like preference to people who are like older or having mobility issues or whatnot.
Maybe I'll go check out the sauna.
Yeah.
Always like a sauna every once in a while.
Well, and our kids are older now, and 2 of them are reasonably proficient in the water. Yep. Like, I don't think Terrence is going to die anymore in the water.
Nope.
Johnny has a floater, and he's really good at the floater. And Rosie is tall, so she's tall enough for like the kid pool. Like, it's not a kiddie pool, but it's like the regular pool with the lazy river and stuff. Yeah. So you could go, do the sauna.
And the deep area is separate, so they can't really get into trouble unless they get out of the pool and go over to the other side of the pool, which we can regulate that.
Yeah, so. 15 feet away from it. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
So that I requested a rain check on, so we'll do that in the future.
Yeah.
Before this baby comes.
But the other thing, so we went to the Museum of Nature and Science. And we have a membership.
Yeah, so I looked at the price of getting tickets, and basically it was a little over half the cost of getting tickets. Well, so it was like 60% of the cost of a membership was just getting tickets alone.
One time.
For one visit. And that would have included me, of course, which I didn't go with you guys.
True.
But now we have a membership, so the kids and I are going to go back, like Martin Luther King, when they have the day off. I'm going to take them for like another trip. And we can do that through the year, a couple times, and we've definitely made our money's worth.
Yeah, and it's so huge. We did not get to everything. All we did, they have a scavenger hunt for, they call them elves, but they're really gnomes.
There's a hot debate in the family.
It is a big debate in the family because they're gnomes. They look like gnomes. If you're out there, envision in your head a gnome, and that's what they look like, not an elf.
So you could probably Google like Denver Museum of Nature and Science Elf Hunt 2022.
Yeah, I think they just called it elves for Christmas probably, but they are gnomes. So we went around to find all the gnomes, and there's even one in the escalator.
Oh.
Yeah, like the kids pointed that out to me. I'm like, oh, there's a gnome in the gearing of the escalator because they have a little cutout with plexiglass so you can see the inner workings of the escalator, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
very Museum of Nature and Science-y.
Yeah, and we stared at the whale skeleton for a minute, and one of the volunteers came over and told us all about it. I learned that because it's a mammal, it has the same amount of neck vertebrae as we do. Also, the same actually in a giraffe. They have the same amount of neck vertebrae that we do. Even though they're longer, the neck vertebrae piece is the same number because they're mammals. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Right? So I learned something.
Cool. Well, that's the nice thing. Like, our kids are getting older, so the Children's Museum isn't as good of a fit anymore. And there is lots of programming for kids at the Museum of Nature and Science, but there's also like kind of older, and it'll be nice to like learn stuff.
Yeah, it was much more enjoyable for me. I have a hard time going to the Children's Museum. It's just so stressful.
I know you do.
So the Museum of Nature and Science is much better. And there was lunch, that was nice.
Yeah.
So we had more food than we needed to have, but it was good. We waited in line, and you could see the animosity of people as they're all scouting, trying to find a place to sit because there isn't enough space. And it's a lot of big families that are there during the Christmas season. So, but it was good. We had a lot of fun doing that, and then we went sledding. That was a gift.
That was.
Because the day we were supposed to go sledding, there wasn't any snow.
Well,
right?
and I did it I did sledding because that was a request of one of our children. And it's just the kind of thing you don't know if you're going to be able to do it or not because it's weather dependent. So I put it on the first day knowing like if we get snow for that at all during that week, we can just say we're going to do it, as soon as we get snow. And we did. We had like wonderful sledding snow like
Yeah.
a couple days later.
Yeah. And then New Year's was fun because this was the first year we let them all stay up. And of course, one by one, they all crashed, except for Rosalina. She stayed up with me the whole time. Christina, I think we got to, after we watched our movie, it was like 11:15. She's like, I've stayed up. I'm going to bed. Like, whoa, okay, this is coming from the night owl. Doesn't want to stay up. So Rosie and I stayed up and we listened to the fireworks and we flipped a couple of channels so she could see like Times Square and other places. There was a Dolly Parton and Miley Cyrus New Year's Eve party. Sure, why not? So we watched the tail end of that.
Now when you say anything about Dolly Parton, I always immediately think of
The
Orville.
Yeah.
What can I do five?
That's right.
Being the anthem of the revolution. Oh, such a good show.
Yep, good old Dolly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so it was a really good week. It was nice to have you off a little bit before Christmas because that is rare. So you had a few days off and we were able to do some family things.
Yeah.
And I definitely kind of played it chiller than most years with Christmas stuff around here because of being pregnant. So I didn't decorate as much as normal.
Yeah, no, I don't have to take the lights off of the house, and you don't have to take the lights off of the house.
I know, I'm like, you're using the wrong pronoun there.
One of us would get to it. One of us.
I do
likely
the
you.
lights.
Likely
usually.
you. But this year, with a pregnant baby in there, it would be me. I would be yelling at you if you got up on a ladder.
I heard you in my head because when you guys were in New York City, I was going to put the lights up. I was going to do it that Friday, and it was a really windy that Friday. And I'm like, this is a bad idea. And it gave me just enough time to think, all right, I'm like 6 months pregnant. This is probably not a good idea.
No.
What if I fall? Like, God forbid. So I did not do lights, which has been a suffering for me too.
I know.
But, it's for my unborn baby. And you don't have to take lights down that you usually don't have to take down either.
I don't.
I think I've been doing that the last few years.
So I was picking up the garage yesterday. I went over to one of the shelves that has the light stuff, and I saw that they were there. I'm like, oh, hey, these are already in place. Great. I can keep organizing other things. It was nice.
Oh, my goodness. You're welcome. Merry Christmas to you. Bah humbug.
Bah humbug to me.
Yeah, but it's been good.
Yeah. Big talk?
Big talk. Well, we were going to just have a conversation, and I think it could be a little short because it might be redundant with what we just talked about. But this has been the 12 days and kind of hitting really early in the 12 days, like a physical ailment that derailed a lot of my plans and my vision of, I guess, what I wanted to do. It's been kind of hard for me. So
the suffering of it.
Yeah, just it being like just not being well, first of all, and then also knowing that like I missed kind of going out with you guys and doing some of the stuff. Like the Denver Museum of Nature and Science was probably the biggest one that you guys did without me.
Yeah.
I managed to go sledding because I was right before everything started.
Did you slide down?
No.
Okay.
I went.
When you say,
you're right.
I was like, wait, did I miss that somehow?
No.
I think I would remember that.
I witnessed you. No, you went down.
I went down twice.
Yeah.
That was enough for me.
I witnessed to all of you going down in sleds, but no, I did not. I did not think that was a prudent decision.
No.
Again, about 7 months pregnant at that point.
Yeah.
But it's been hard, and it's like, I guess, challenged me, and it's been hard to honestly even stick with my prayer routine with some of the way that this has hit me because I've been tired, really, really tired.
Yeah.
So it's just been like a strange Christmas season.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be filled with light and joy and fun.
Yeah.
And praise to our newborn King. And it's just been like a lot of suffering instead, which I should be embracing. But I'm just such a fallen human being that all I do is whine and beg God for it to stop. And, instead of offering up the suffering for my kids or for this kid inside of me, I just can't help but think like in an animalistic way.
You mean you're human?
Yes.
Yes.
But I'd say when we're not suffering,
yeah, you
it's
think,
really...
you can give that suffering up. You lost your arm, give the suffering up to the Lord. It's fine.
Well, and I'm not even sure, like, I would say that to other people, but I think, like, when it's my time to be suffering, I will have this great suffering that I will give, and it's going to be rock solid, and I will unite myself to Christ. And then the suffering happens, and I'm just, like, begging God for it to stop, and just thinking about myself and forgetting about praying. And
it's hard.
It's hard. So it's been a weird time in my life to, coincide with this season that we do so much intentional family things.
Well, you're in the thick of it, right? You're in the trenches of dealing with this problem, and it's hard to see through the fog of it a lot of times, to be able to step back and go, okay. It wasn't like it started small and then all of a sudden you're able to say, okay, I know that I'm going to go through suffering. Let me prepare for that suffering. No.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't a cancer diagnosis.
Right into it,
But...
And, so it's like you haven't had a moment to just stop. I think it wasn't until maybe 5 or 6 days into it that you had a moment to just say, okay, what's going on? I need to pray and think through this and just give it up to God. As you have.
Yeah, I think
as much as you can.
Gotten better. It just took a long time. So maybe that means I'm growing. It didn't take as long as normal, but not that it's perfect, but it has been surrender.
Right.
Like I started the surrender novena again and just trying to...
that was probably a good idea.
Submit myself and just say... Because there's some element of self-blame that kind of started in the beginning that I thought I had done something to cause this. And I'm not sure that that's true anymore. But like in the very beginning, I thought, okay, I did something to bring this about. And I made some kind of a stupid decision, or I didn't care for something or other, and therefore natural consequences. So I'm immediately taking ownership and beating myself up for this suffering and just asking God in despair for it to go away. And I think it's becoming clear that like whatever's happening to me has not been caused by me, that it's just one of those things. And so you
weren't licking shopping carts or, going into cancer wards or like COVID wards or something and be like, hi, breathe on me.
Yeah, I wasn't doing, I wasn't doing those things. And I have no agency in what's happening to me right now, except I can, try to help myself in a few different like specific ways that are an act of suffering. But otherwise I am completely helpless. And maybe in that helplessness, it's been easier to surrender to God, knowing like this is happening. There's an end that I can't see because I don't know why it's happening. And it's just been a strange combination of feeling that in the midst of what is for our family, like a pretty celebratory season.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. And you've suffered a bit in that you've taken, it's different suffering, but you've been taking charge. You took a lot of responsibility in the very early days when I was really incapacitated.
I've cooked a lot of dinners. It's good practice.
You've cooked, you've done, laundry and cleaning and stuff, has happened. Yeah. And then you took care of the kids and, made sure that they were still having fun despite what was happening.
Yeah.
So
it in turn made me have fun. I think most of the time it was fun. Yeah, I think so.
That's good.
Yeah.
The one very nice element of some of this is you, in my Christmas stocking, gave me a new game on the Switch.
I did, yes.
And that has been really nice because it's been very story-based and strategy-based, and it's been diverting.
Yes. Well, strategically, I tried to take 2 days before Christmas. I tried to take 3 days, but I ended up taking 2 days, I think, in the end. What was that? I think either Rosalina came with me, and we were shopping, and she helped me get a couple of things that I was trying to wrap up my Christmas shopping for you.
Yeah.
And so it was the Google search of, hey Google, what's the best 2023 strategic game of the year? And so there was a list of a couple of them, and this one, when I started seeing how like the turn-based system works and how there was a lot of drama and plot to it, I'm like, oh, that's the one right there.
So it's called Triangle Strategy, and it's essentially like it's a very new RPG style as far as graphically game, and it's a choose your own adventure. So you are presented with a lot of different decisions, and depending on the decision that's made, you have a different story and a different story ending. And there's been some shocking occurrences as a result because there's multiple endings.
Yes, but nobody's had amnesia yet, right?
No one has had amnesia.
Okay, so it's not
people have faked their own death.
It's not quite soap opera, but it's on the line.
I think it's pretty soap opera. There's been some gasp moments. Well, so there's one character who has a surprising lineage that is like definitely a gasp moment that could have major like political consequences.
Okay.
And there's like another character who's basically the heiress to a revolution that you don't know about right away. Yeah, there's all kinds of like twists and turns.
Yeah,
so
it's your kind of game.
it was very nice. I'm still not done playing through. I'm gonna have to go back and play because apparently I messed up a decision, so I can't get to the best ending.
Oh, okay.
Like the 21st chapter
or
whatever.
You'll play through again.
So yeah, I'll play through, and it's nice because they give you the ability to fast forward through plots if you've seen that particular story like scene play out.
Huh.
Then you can just fast forward through it.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice, which I haven't been doing because I don't know what's happening. So you can also autoplay it, and then I knit and just watch it.
Right.
Like it's watching a play.
It was a win-win.
It was a win-win. So
I had no clue that you were going to be able to autoplay through all of the dialogue. That was a win.
It took me a day to figure out I could do that, which you wouldn't have taken that long.
I've never heard of a game that's done that.
But it's one of the prompts on the screen.
Is it? Oh.
It says auto hit like RZ.
It's one of those new things for RPG games because I'm all the games I've been playing are like 2008, 2010. So I'm not quite there. The technology hasn't caught up that people just want an autoplay button.
It's a pain point with RPGs when you go into like the heavy dialogue that you have to keep hitting to like proceed. And so I'm able to just play and like let it play through these like very intricate scenes. And then there's the strategy battle stuff, which is fun. But it was very nice in that it was quite diverting through my not feeling well. And then when you guys were off doing this or that for the 12 days, I just kind of sat and rested. Right.
And I always enjoy when I can get you a game on the Switch because it means that I can also play at the same time on the Xbox.
Yep, because I can sit next to you.
Works out perfectly for me.
It does. The kids hate it because they can't have the Switch.
Yeah,
it's been mommy's device I figured, like they have it from almost all the rest of the year.
Yeah,
when do I ever play a video game? I never play video games.
They're playing right now. What is it?
Mario Deluxe U or something.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers Deluxe U. I think it was the Wii U, but then they ported it over to the Switch, so it works out perfectly. We haven't played it.
Nope.
It looks really good.
Yeah. Looked like they were having fun.
Yep, I'm going to go beat them all at it.
Yeah, you do. Go take over Johnny's character. Because they're getting mad at Jonathan for, like, failing jumps and this and that, but he's 5 years old.
He's 5 years old, and he's actually jumping around and moving forward motion. That's a huge step for a 5-year-old, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, it'll be good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, different epiphany. I think that's the moral of the story.
Yeah, it's not been bad. It's been different. It's been a suffering for me to accept that I can't always be in control, and it can still be good despite it being different.
Yeah, for sure. Well, apologies for our on and off episodic nature in the past.
Yeah, and that was why we missed last week, because I was really not feeling well.
If you have any thoughts, send us a line at catholichitch@gmail.com. Tell your friends about us. We'd love to be in community with as many people as we can.
May the Lord guide and direct our journey.
Amen.